Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for being here. And I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really happy to see all of you here as well. So, again, thank you so much. As we get started today, I want to let you know that it's going to be all about talking about must know YouTube strategies for 2022. And I would love to get started by you filling out the poll if you haven't already. I don't think you can see the poll on mobile, but you can see it on desktop. So if you want to just hop on over to desktop and take the poll about, what stage of the YouTube journey you're at, whether you are thinking about starting a channel or you already have one, then go ahead and fill that out in the poll. And if you can't see the poll, that's fine. You can just let me know in the chat box. So if you're on mobile, just let me know I'm thinking of starting a channel, or if you've already started one, let me know that you already have a channel. So, hi everybody. I see you guys in the chat. Salima, Jeshruns, Katrine, thank you so much for being here. So, we're going to be talking all about, 2022 has just started. And even though we're one and a half ish months in, there's still so much happening and people are like still getting into it, right? So what are people getting into? First of all, the creator economy. It is bursting. It is growing. It is on fire right now. People are creating more content. They're creating better quality content. There is more demand for that content. Brands are getting, on the bandwagon for great content. And of course, video is always at the forefront of leading this kind of content. So that's one. Second, YouTube is doing amazingly well. So yes, I know we're in all sorts of economic crisis and there's a pandemic and a health, crisis on, but YouTube as a platform is doing exceptionally well. It made, I think it was 8 billion. I'm probably saying that wrong. Some billions last year. And, it is growing. It is growing every time they post their quarterly profits. The platform is growing. It is expanding. The ad revenue, I think that was the ad revenue, that was 8 billion. Google put out a report that the YouTube AdSense revenue was one of the highest it has ever seen up till now in the last quarter of 2021. So as we get into 2022 and discuss strategies, I want to answer your questions from the perspective of what's working now and what might be obsolete and what might be a 2003 strategy, or sorry, 2003 is really old, but a 2010 strategy, which may not be working anymore. So I do have a lot of questions that you guys have sent in. So I do want to share your questions and then share my answers. And I want to say hi to everybody. If you just joined into the live stream, please do two things. Say hi in the chat and share this live stream out with your community. If you're active on Facebook, go ahead and share it on Facebook. If that's Twitter, go ahead and share it on a Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, on YouTube itself, on the community tab, wherever you are active, go ahead and share it so we can get lots of people in here who can come over and we can all have a great discussion about, how to take this platform forward, how to take our work on this platform forward. And also, as I'm answering your questions, I want it to be more interactive. So I might just ask you guys to help me answer some of these questions. So it'll be a lot of fun if there's like more people, right? So let's get the show on the road. I'm going to share my screen and show you guys that we're going to be talking about these must-know strategies. And I want to get straight into it. I want to say hi to everybody. Craft a Better You, Shamail, Julian, hi, good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining in, everybody. If you're just joining in, be sure to say hello in the chat and share out the live stream so that we can have a lot more people in and we can have a whole discussion going about your questions. I want everybody to get in on how we're going to be answering your questions. Okay, so let's get started. And the first question that I actually have here is by Sweet Country Home. So hopefully you guys can all see that. And she's asking, my current challenge is how hard should I niche down in 2022? Should I go with one type of content? Will going for different types of content hurt the channel? I'm creating content from the Swedish countryside, incorporating my various interests. So the first thing that I want to ask you guys, Katrine, thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate that. The first thing that I want to ask you guys as you look at this question is, How many of you right now are in the same boat? Are you thinking, how niche is too niche? How broad do I need to go? How do I, figure out whether it should be a type of topic, a type of industry, a type of audience? Like, what defines a niche? Is it topics? Is it audience profiles? What is that? So let me know in the chat if you are right now thinking about this question for your channel. Are you thinking about niching down, and is that causing you some anxiety? Is that a challenge for you right now? So let me know in the chat. So the way that I want to answer this question, let me put this up here. Okay, so the way that I want to answer this question is really to think about it from the perspective of what is a niche. And to me, a niche is not necessarily the type of content, but it is more than that. So it is the type of content, but it's also the type of audience that you want to attract. So when you're thinking about, let's say she wants to create content from the Swedish countryside, who is going to be the ideal person interested in that content? Is it going to be somebody who wants to travel to Sweden? Is it going to be somebody who wants to perhaps live there permanently? Is it somebody who's like a digital nomad? Is it somebody who's an expat? Is it somebody who's a travel blogger? Right? So you need to really think about niching down from the audience's perspective first before you can think about it from the content perspective. So that's really my take on it. And thinking about it from the audience's perspective, what that does is it allows you to find topics that audience will care about. So whether you are talking about, making different types of content, let's say you're doing shorts, or you're doing live streams, or you're doing recorded videos, or you're doing travel blogging, or you're doing tutorials in one place, the format will not matter as much, because the audience would be interested in that particular thing. So if the audience is interested, then that will drive your content decisions. Let me know if that makes sense on the basic level about thinking about, okay, how niche is niche. It's not about content, it's about audience. The audience will drive the content. And you'll see this theme. I talk about this a lot because YouTube talks about this a lot. Every single time people are like, the algorithm, this, that, or whatever, or my content or my channel is not performing well. The first thing that YouTube says is that we are just following the audience. If the audience is not interested in your content, then we can't promote it, surface it, show it to more and more people. So it's what the basic of any platform, including YouTube, is that it is primarily audience driven. So when you start with the audience, put the audience in the center of your strategy and really, really get down and dirty about who is that one person who is going to love everything that you're going to create because they need it. And I like to think that if you're an entrepreneur and you're creating a business channel and you're trying to attract, people who are going to want to work with you maybe or buy from you in the future, then it is really a good idea to figure out what is the problem that you are solving for that one person. So if it's a travel blogger, maybe they want, the top 10 best places to visit in Sweden type of content, right? If it's somebody who's looking to settle down, then maybe it's more of like, what neighborhood is best for families in Sweden. So it's really, really about who the audience is. So I hope I clarified that, and that is how I would approach this. Okay, so I see you guys in the chat. Katrina is saying not many people think that Meta will struggle in Europe. Google Analytics will also struggle, but I wonder how YouTube actually will work in Europe. Yeah, I'm hearing conflicting reports about that because Facebook is denying that they're coming out of Europe at all. So there are all these rumors going on, and I believe that there must be something that has sparked off these rumors, but we don't really know yet. I think it's too early to really worry about it because I don't think these platforms are really going anywhere. Hi, Devika, good to see you. Katrina is saying, I am in the same situation, but I'm starting to figure it out, I think. Okay, that is awesome. Okay. So let me move on to question number two. So I do have a lot of questions, and what I want to do is first answer the ones that I've already gotten, and then I will open up the chat. So if you have a question, remember that you can think about that question right now, but don't type it into the chat right now. I don't want it to get lost. Okay. So at this point, just hold on, think about your question. And if you do have a question that you want to ask in the chat, then this is the format that you want to ask it in. My current challenge is dash, should I, option A, or option B, right? So that is the format. And the reason why this format is because it's going to help you narrow down from a solution perspective. And it's going to make it easier for me to help you navigate and answer and to arrive at a conclusion. So it's just an easier way for you to think about your challenge and for me to help you answer that challenge. Okay. So let's put our question back up. Second question is by Career Choice, and they write, I started a self improvement channel 1 month ago and met my first month goal for number of uploaded videos. Yay! Because that is a huge, big deal. Your first month and meeting the goal for how many videos you want to upload is awesome. So I definitely applaud you for that. Your question is, should I focus on creating evergreen content or focus on trending topics in my niche? Okay. So, right off the bat, when you're just starting out, you really, instead of deciding what kind of content you want to create, you want to start off with thinking about what is the goal. Okay, so let me ask you guys in the chat right now, when you're thinking about evergreen versus trendy content, which one do you tend to gravitate towards more? Do you tend to think, oh, I need to create more long-term evergreen content that's going to, rise slowly up the ranks? Or do you think I need to get on these trends. I need to do all the fun stuff. I need to get these viral views. Like, what camp are you in? Let me know. Evergreen or trendy? Okay, so let me answer this question. So the way I want to answer this question is, instead of thinking about evergreen or trendy, think about what is your goal. If your goal is to attract your first 1,000 subscribers really, really fast, then probably topics that are popular right now would help you get there the fastest. If your goal is to become an authority in your space and be seen as an expert, then evergreen, educational, how to long form content really helps to position you as the expert. So before you answer this question, before you make a decision about whether you want to do, one type of content or the other type of content, really think about what is the end goal. Like, what does success look like? Does it look like, you have 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers really fast, or even 100,000 subscribers really, really fast? Is that what you're after? Think about it. Or do you want to establish subject matter expertise? So, depending on that, you would be guided on whether you should be creating evergreen or trendy. So, let me know what you thought about my answer. I'm going to see your comments here. Julian is saying going with the audience makes total sense. Yes. Thank you, Julian. I'm going to showcase your answer there because I think that is so important to remember, to keep your audience at the center of every single thing you do. And when I say audience, I don't mean a mass of people. Like, it's really hard to imagine thousands of people and be like, okay, what do these people want? Right? When I say audience, it's really about identifying that one core person who has specific challenges and problems and desires and aspirations. And you are in the perfect position to help them. And once you have identified that one perfect person, then you can attract more of that. So I'm a big believer in creating for one and attracting many. Salima is saying evergreen and serving. Soap School is saying evergreen. Christian, I'm not taking the live questions just yet, so hold on to your question and maybe type it again when I'm ready to take questions in the chat. But right now, I'm taking the questions that people have already sent in when I announced that I was doing this live stream. But I will get to your questions, so hang in there. Architectural sheet metal. Hi, hello. I love your videos. This is the first time, I guess, I've been in with you. Thank you so much for being here. So I want to get back to your questions. And I really enjoy the fact that you guys are helping me figure out the answers here. That's really fun. All right. So Zanet Design is asking, my current challenge is reviving videos that haven't seen the light of day. I have tried changing thumbnails and the TubeBuddy split testing, but the challenge is getting traffic to split test with. Should I just link cards and promote these videos to get them exposed again on new videos, or should I just remake them again with my improved skills? Okay, so first of all, let me ask you guys, how many of you have videos that have tanked? You made these videos, you thought it was going to do amazing, and you put all this effort into it, and they just didn't perform. And the content is really great. You're really, really proud of those videos, but they're not doing you any favors anymore. They're not getting views, they've just flatlined, they've tanked, and they're not working for you anymore. How many of you have those kind of videos? Tell me in the chat. Okay, the second thing is that Zenit Design has said that he has tried changing thumbnails and split testing. So first of all, I need to applaud you for that, because a lot of times people don't even know what to do, and they're like, "Oh my God, this was just a bad video," and that's it, and they just give up and are afraid to try again. So I'm glad that you at least tried, a couple of different strategies. Like split testing thumbnails is a great strategy to see if it's the video is not performing well because the thumbnail is not working. So that's something good. Okay, the next thing that you tried was not getting the traffic to split test with. Okay, so that's a challenge. So you're asking if you should just promote those videos more and expose them, or just make them with your improved skills. Now, I want to highlight something here that you've said, which is the word improved skills. That is such a crucial word to highlight. And the reason I wanted to highlight that is because most people want to remake those videos with the same skills. Of course, that's not going to work, because if you haven't improved on it in any way, then chances are that the results that you're going to get are going to be kind of the same, because there's nothing that's changed, right? And so, what you really, really need to do at this point is, if you have tried a couple of things and it's not working, then and you have improved your skills, then I definitely think that going forward and making newer, better versions of those same topics is definitely the way to go. Now, there's a caveat. If the older videos were performing well, let's say one of the older videos is performing well and you kind of want to capitalize on that, then what you would do is make a new video and point it to the old video. Like in the description, you would say, and by the way, I also have another video on this topic here. And in that description, you'd give the link to that older video. So that is a great way to drive traffic from a new video to an older video as well. Okay. But if you feel that the older video is not that good, and the content might not be good, or you might not have those improved skills that you do now, and you don't really want to drive traffic to the older video, then definitely you can repurpose that same idea in a newer way with your improved skills. And that is a great, great way to move forward with YouTube. Oftentimes, instead of looking back, I prefer to look forward, because we're always, learning. And if you have improved, then chances are that you're going to be making better videos as you go along. And so why not share those better videos rather than keep trying to drive traffic to an older video that is not performing? So I definitely think that making a new video and maybe linking it to the older video, if you still want to promote that content, or just making a new version of that using that same idea, that same concept, and reworking it. That's definitely a great way to go. Okay, so let me know what you guys would do if you have older videos. Would you think about remaking them with your better skills? Have you skilled up? Or would you think about, oh, I just need to promote this on Facebook a little bit more, or throw some ad dollars on it or something? Like, what would be your mindset around this? I have several of them, Katrina's saying. But I watch my analytics and I'm starting to get a grip on what works and what does not perform that well. Yes, I think that is really, really crucial to be able to take a look at your analytics and see why. It's not just about, okay, what's performing well and what's not, but why. And this is a skill that you can only develop if you actually create videos, because the more videos that you create, the more YouTube's going to give you that data to kind of see whether you're on the right path or not. I mean, it's data driven. The more videos you create, the more feedback you get, the more data you get. So, definitely understanding the data is a huge, huge, big part of this whole thing. All right. Master Rahul is saying, my current challenge is being consistent with my view count. Should I use similar titles and thumbnail of my highest views, or hire somebody on SEO, hire an SEO on Fiverr to come up with the title and description? Okay. So let's talk about this. Um, what do you guys think? Would you hire somebody to improve the title and description, and get the metadata and the SEO stuff happening on your videos? Or would you create more of the kind of videos that worked if view count was your challenge? I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this. I'm going to hang on a second, see. Architectural sheet metal is saying, it's like I needed permission to remake old videos. I get stuck on bad ideas. It's so funny and so true. Well, you have my permission. Go ahead and redo those videos, because chances are that you've leveled up and there's probably new information to share. I was just watching one of my older videos yesterday, or was it the day before, on something about going live with Zoom. And I realized that the interface has changed and that video doesn't make sense anymore. So, I should probably do an updated version of it. So, definitely think about making newer versions of old videos. Okay, so you guys are saying create more of what works, double down on what's working, use data to make better video titles, use similar titles, of course. So my answer would actually be, so you're right. And I think there's a lot to be said for doubling down on what works and doing more of what is working. I would say both, because getting better at SEO or hiring somebody who's really good at SEO could also help with your view count. Because if you can rank a video higher, just because you created a better thumbnail, a better title, and you wrote a better description, that could help your videos rank higher, right, on Google or on YouTube. Excuse me. Excuse me. I just kind of swallowed really fast. But yeah. Katrina is saying, I would do a better keyword research myself. Yeah. So if you can do it yourself, then I definitely think there's merit in improving the title and description. And by the way, did you guys know that you can go back and edit your title? You can edit your description. You can change your thumbnail. You can change all of the metadata. So this is all the metadata, right? The title, the thumbnail, the description. All of this stuff you can actually go and change. Maybe not like right after you release the video, give it a week or so. But after that, you can actually go and change the metadata if it's not working. And some of this is like trial and error. Oh, maybe if I put this word in, it'll work. Or maybe if I change the title from this perspective, then it'll work. So some of it is just trial and error. And you've got to be unafraid to try different things, really, because otherwise you'll never know what works for your channel. And so no matter what software you're using, people are saying vidIQ or Morning Fame, whatever software you're using, the process is the same. It doesn't matter what software you're using. So I would say both. Definitely make more videos using similar titles, and definitely improve titles and description as well. Okay, next question. Ermi, my current challenge is not uploading regularly. And the main reason is that I can't keep up with editing my videos. Oof, that is a big one, as I do all on my own. Editing always gets pushed back as other business related things need to be addressed. And as a one woman show, can only do so much. Should I hire a video editor despite being tight with budget, or just keep publishing videos whenever I can, even though this probably won't help me grow my channel much? What would you do instead? So, how many of you edit your own videos? Let me know in the chat how many of you edit your own videos, and also who here has a video editor already either on board or you're thinking about getting a video editor. Let me know where you are in this process. Okay, so let's answer Ermi's question. And this is probably very relatable to a lot of you, because I find that most people, after they get over the hump of production, they get stuck on the edit. And it's like, you know, it's just taking too long, or it's just really hard for me to learn this. Do I even need to learn this? And there's one thing that I tell all my clients is that you don't need to become a video editor. Okay, it is a different mindset, right? You don't need to become a video editor. You are a YouTube creator, you're an entrepreneur, you are not trying to learn the software. So I never advise people to buy like really expensive software and try and learn it, because unless your goal is to become a video editor and do editing to earn your income and to support yourself, and you do editing for other people, then learning editing is not your goal. Looking professional on camera and maintaining a good watch time is actually your goal. So, what do I mean by that? When you look at your retention graph, think about when are people dropping off and when are people staying tuned. So, you want to look at every single video's retention graph and think about, oh, what was the reason for people dropping off at that point? Was it because you were rambling? Was it because you said something off topic? Or really, was it because the editing was choppy? And most of the time, you'll find that it's less the editing's fault and more the content's fault, right? And it's really about when people drop off from videos, it's usually because the content is either not up to their expectations, or they're just plain bored, or you're just not getting to the point fast enough. You're not giving them what they came for fast enough. And so editing is really about making sure that you are getting to the point fast enough and you are giving them context and value. So, what do I mean by that? I mean that if you are telling something, maybe showing it, with screens, or maybe showing b-roll, if that helps explain the concept better, then yes, invest in figuring out how to edit that portion. But if editing to you means fancy effects and transitions and adding music and a moving background, then I can tell you 100% that that is not what grows a channel. So first figure out, what does editing really mean to you? And do you want to be an editor, or do you just want to create videos that will keep people watching? Right? Think about that. So to answer Ermi's question, I would say that you know thinking about it from the perspective of, should I hire or should I learn? Right? Is that what the dilemma was? Oh no, not learn. Should I hire or just not publish as frequently? So not publishing frequently is usually a result of you not wanting to be resourceful enough. There are a lot of ways that you can publish video content without having to edit it. Like this, for example, all I'm really doing in a live stream is answering questions. There isn't any editing involved in here. There isn't even any original content creation apart from my answer, really. So you can just take the questions that people are asking in your industry. If you don't have an audience yet and they're not asking you questions, you can just take questions in the industry and answer them. It could be a 2-minute video where all you do is take that question, answer that question on video. No editing required. In fact, I'll tell you one secret. When clients join my program, it's YouTube intensive. When they join, it's a 10-week program, and in week 1 they actually create a video without editing. Okay, so the first video that they create, it's a 2-minute video. I give them the script for it and I say the challenge is you cannot edit this video. You have to create it from beginning to end in one go. And I really, really love that challenge because it makes people see that there is so much they can do if they practice, first of all, retake, do multiple takes, get comfortable, and then use the take that had that had either the least amount of problems in it or that the one that they're most happy with. And really, what they find is that they don't need as much editing as they thought. And so, to answer this question, I would think that keep creating videos. You don't necessarily need to hire it out, but keep that consistency going and mix it up. So it doesn't just have to be recorded videos. It could be shorts, it could be live videos, it could be you record it live and then schedule it for release later, so that you can do all of these different things. And another point of view is one of my clients, she actually went out and hired an editor just so she could be more consistent. So that's another way of looking at it. Maybe you need somebody on your back. Maybe you need to be like thinking, oh my God, I'm paying hundreds of dollars every week for every month for editing. So I better create this video. So it's really about priorities then. Is creating videos a priority for you? Is this something that you are committed to doing? And this is where the problem becomes like, okay, are you creating videos full time on YouTube? Or is it just a hobby? Because as long as it stays a hobby, then it's going to be difficult to be consistent, because you'll be like, oh, if I don't, it won't really matter. Who cares? It's not a big deal. But if you are full time and you're thinking that, oh, this is important to my business, this is going to help me grow, and you're serious about content creation, then consistency is going to be your top priority. Okay, so let me know what you thought of my answer. I want to read some of your chats here. So let's see these. Alrighty, you guys. Architectural Sheet is saying gold, aha moment. Content is different than editing. Yes, definitely. So I know exactly what I want. I tried to delegate before, but they wanted so much detail that I just didn't have it. So this is kind of why, it's really important to know how to edit. So when you do hire an editor, then you are able to guide them properly. So it's really, really good idea to learn the basics, but not necessarily become an editor, but just learn how you want the video to play out, and think about it from your audience's retention graph. That is the number one thing you should be thinking about. Okay, at what point is the audience engaged, and at what point are they dropping off? And if they're dropping off at points where the editing is choppy, only then do you really need to think about upping your game in editing. Do you know where we can find clickbaity thumbnail templates? I heard about clickbaity, but I have two resources for you. One is Placeit. Placeit, I believe it's .net. If you go down in the description of this video, you'll see a link for Placeit in there amongst the software and tools that I recommend. And the second is Canva. And you'll also see Canva linked down there. And I typically feel like these two are more than enough for creating all kinds of variety of thumbnails. However, they're not very optimized to YouTube as a platform. So I would encourage you to go and watch my video on, actually, I have a whole playlist on creating thumbnails, and they kind of help you tweak those pre-made templates to what actually works on YouTube. So go and find that thumbnail. Should be on my homepage, my channel's homepage, and it's called YouTube thumbnails or something like that. Alrighty. Salima is asking, how long is this live stream? I have a few more questions to go through, so I was hoping to go for about an hour. So let's see. Katrina is saying, what about using a teleprompter? Yes, what about using it? I didn't have a good experience. So can only talk about my experience and say it was really, really hard for me because it felt really inauthentic. Like really inauthentic, because I couldn't read words off a screen. I'm an extreme, like I'm like a stage speaker. So I like to get up there and like feel the energy of the crowd and then kind of come up with, what I want to say and like alter things. And I just do that like off the cuff, even though I have a presentation and I have points and everything. And I kind of bring that same energy to my YouTube videos. I like being more natural. So even though I have a script and I have points and everything and I do follow them, but at the end of the day, I don't want a teleprompter telling me exactly what word to use because I feel that takes away from energy on camera. But to each their own. And if a teleprompter works well for you, then I'm not knocking it. Okay. Canva is my jam. I tried Affinity. Lawrence, hi. I misread the time, but here, good to see you. The lighting looks different. Did you do something new? Yeah, I moved. I usually sit at that desk over there. And right now I am at a different desk. So that accounts for lighting. It's a bit darker as well. So um, just, a little bit different for the live stream. Okie dokie. Let's answer more of your questions. So, Katrine, you asked me on Instagram. My current challenge is getting engagement on YouTube. Should I live stream on YouTube or should I send specific emails? Who here has an engagement issue or do you want more comments on your YouTube videos? Let me know. Just type in comments. Type in comments if you want more engagement happening on your YouTube videos. So, as I answer this, I want to say that um, I'm not sure why you think specific emails is going to increase engagement because engagement is very platform driven. So you want to have people be on the platform, and I find that engagement is really a result of tapping into people's emotions. So if you create something that invokes a emotional reaction from somebody and they feel like they have uh, a stake in that video, they're going to comment. And it's tricky sometimes, but I'll tell you a few tricks on how to do that. Thank you so much for the $2 architectural sheet metal. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So let me answer this from a perspective of what invokes engagement. How do people leave comments? And Salima is saying comments, asking a question, and pinning has not helped. Okay, so first of all, one of the easiest ways to get engagement is to give people something easy to answer in the comments. So if you are asking questions and people are not answering in the comments, the problem might be that your question is just too difficult for people to answer. Some of my clients come on, and when they're like not yet on board with the strategy or they haven't learned it, they're like, so we'll just ask people, so what did you think of this video, or what did you think about whatever the topic is. And I'm like, when's the last time you went into YouTube comments and typed in a lengthy response to what do you think about XYZ? It is too difficult. It takes too much time and effort. And, people want easy, people want convenience, right? So if you're asking questions in your videos and you're not getting the love in the comment section, you want to ask more specific questions. Give them an either or situation, or give them like an easy answer situation. Like, for example, if I'm talking about, let's say, a video on how to get more subscribers, then a question that I might ask people is, well, how many subscribers do you have right now? And how many would you like to have a year from now? So it's a really easy question. People can say, well, I have like 50 right now, and I would like 1,000 by the year end. So it would be a lot easier for them to answer that question. Now, yes and no questions are kind of dead end questions. I don't normally ask them because it's again, you get less response with yes or no questions. And a yes or no question might be like, do you need to make a plan for your videos? Yes. Okay, like, it's kind of a dead end. It doesn't encourage conversation. So I prefer to ask questions that then I can follow up on. So for example, if somebody says I have 50 subscribers right now and I want 1,000 by the end of the year, I might say, okay, that's a great goal. And what's the next thing you're going to do to reach that goal? So that encourages uh, a lot more engagement. And so remember that every time you answer a comment, that counts towards your engagement. So on YouTube, when you're looking at your comment section, other people are commenting, that counts as interactivity and engagement. When you comment back, that also counts as engagement from the algorithm's perspective. So the algorithm is seeing that there's lots and lots of engagement happening on this video. So that's why asking questions in your emails is a really, really great strategy. So Katrine, um, live stream is another really, really great way. So let me put up her question here. She's saying, and I'm putting it up because this is such a common concern. I see that, but first I need people to actually find my videos and watch them. Not necessarily. And you're probably wondering, well, how are people supposed to like respond to my videos if like they're not even coming and watching it? So I'm going to point you to a video that I made on I think it's called Comment Love or Get More Comments on YouTube. And the entire strategy revolves around not asking for comments, but actually leaving more comments. It's actually around how you go to certain channels that are in your niche, that have your audience, and you leave comments that encourage people to come back and check out your video on either that topic or a similar topic and leave a comment. So it's a very, very specific strategy for doing that. And so it's less about, thinking about, oh, I don't have enough people watching my videos yet, or I don't have enough of a follower base. It's never about, how many people are watching you. It's always about finding ways to add value. Every time you add value somewhere, you'll find that people will naturally flock to you. They'll ask you how you did that, or what was your secret, or what, can you share with us this, that, or the other? Every single time, whether it's a Facebook group or a YouTube comment section or any other platform, I have seen this over and over again, practiced it myself. When you add value, when you think about giving rather than what am I getting, so you got to sort of change your perspective on that a little bit. And I know it's really hard to do, and it's really, really kind of like a switch. Like you have to think about, okay, you want something, but you first have to think about, oh, how can I get this? But first you have to think about what can I give that would naturally attract people. So that's kind of my take on that. I know it's kind of a long answer, but yes, in to your two options, should I live stream? Definitely live stream is very helpful for getting engagement. Asking great questions is another strategy, and then leaving valuable comments on other people's videos is a great way to get people to come and watch your videos and leave great comments on your videos. So all three of these things I would recommend doing to get more engagement on your YouTube channel. Okay, let's see. What are you guys saying? I didn't know that my response counts as engagement. Yes, it does. Isn't it great? You can just have a conversation with your followers and your audience, like in the YouTube comment section, go like deeper and deeper and deeper and ask them more questions and they respond. And that all counts towards engagement. So if you have 10 comments and you leave 10 answers, that's 20 comments. And that's 20 points of engagement. So it's a lot of fun. And it has value beyond like vanity metrics, right? Because you're actually having a conversation, you're giving value, you're engaging. And so that's really powerful. Dear Woke Christian is saying, thanks for doing this, SJ. Super insightful content. I love it when people call me SJ. It's just a weird quirk. So thank you for that. I enjoy doing this, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it as well. I have used the comment love strategy and it works. There you have it, folks. Somebody is using it and it definitely works. And I know because, when I didn't have, I think it was less than 5,000 subscribers at that point, and I used to follow everybody who was in that same niche with that same audience. And I was very active in their comment section. And I always tried to leave, it was like a game to me. Can I leave like the most valuable comment on this topic, whether it's on a Facebook group or it's on a YouTube video? And usually the most valuable comment for me was bringing in my perspective. So it's not overthinking it. It's not like, oh my God, I need to do like tons of research to leave a valuable comment. No, it's about, okay, what's my perspective on this issue? And what do I want to add to the conversation? And that usually would be valuable, so think about it from that perspective. um Are you dropping a link to your channel in other people's comment section? No, I am not. I am not. Why? Because sometimes links are seen as spammy, and some channels actively block links, mine included. So if you leave a comment with a link, it'll go straight to spam or held for review. It won't even be published. I won't even see it. And a lot of channels don't allow links in their comment section because links are usually used for a lot of spam tactics. And so it's just really, really hard to kind of police that. And so I never leave links in comments. Again, I'm going to ask you to go and watch that video. Just type in Salma Jafri comments and it'll come up, and go and watch the strategy in that. It is nothing to do with leaving links. Yes, you are welcome, Katrine. Hi, hereby, Chris. I tell my followers to not leave super long comments, but to break them into smaller comments. That keeps the engagement up. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Please, can you talk about narrowing or widening the niche, different topics in one channel or two channels? Okay, will do. Queen Mama is saying, thank you for bringing this topic. Yay. Okay, let's see. Let me see the next question. It's by Salima. Okay, my current challenge is low subscribers. Should I continue posting once a week? Should I continue posting once a week or post more frequently, even though the views reduced when I did that in the past and posted 6 videos a month? Okay, awesome. So I love this question because oftentimes we're led to believe that more content is equal to more views. Who here believes that? Let me know in the chat if you believe that just creating more content and just having more videos is automatically going to increase your views. Let me know if that's something that you have either thought or tried or believed in or experienced. And I want to say thank you to her healthy home. You are more than welcome for all the valuable comments here and for being here. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's see. I want to answer this from the perspective of it's not either or. It's not about continuing to post once a week, and it is not about increasing the upload frequency. So I want to bring you back to what really matters. It's not about the number of uploads. It's about how well your content is connecting with your specific audience. So if you upped the upload frequency and views didn't correspondingly increase, then the problem is not the number of videos, but it's the content itself. So you kind of need to sit back and think about, okay, come back to the audience. If your content is not resonating with that audience, then we need to switch tactics. You need to switch how you are approaching that. And I'm going to bring you back to thinking about putting your audience in the center. Think about who is that perfect person who is going to love this video, this particular content type that you want to create. And then once you find out who that person is and they love that video, then you can upload the frequency. Then you can create more videos around that. Now you have a strategy. But just uploading more for the sake of uploading more is spinning your wheels. I know one channel, they came to me, they had like 600 videos and 15 views. And I was just like, why? Or up just like creating more bad content is not going to increase views. So you really, so if that's what's happening, then you need to really dial it back and think about, okay, my content is not resonating with any audience. So you need to come back to thinking about audience first. Who should I be creating videos for and why would they watch? So that's really the answer to that. I hope that that was helpful. Okay, Think Mats is saying, my current challenge is my country is not on the list of YouTube countries. So should I just go ahead and make videos? And how will I be monetized? So this is a very interesting question. And I just want to know really quickly here, do you guys know if your country is on the list of monetized countries? And if not, let me know that as well. So, are you able to monetize your channel? Let's put it that way. So, the answer to this, from my perspective, is really, really straightforward and simple. AdSense is the worst way to earn money on YouTube, and it is the hardest way as well. If you are not extremely talented, willing to work extremely, extremely hard, and you have something very unique to offer, then going viral and racking up tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views is really, really hard to do. Now, if you have the talent, then it might be easy for you to do that. But developing that talent could be just something that is too difficult, right? So if you, uh, if AdSense is not on the table, then what? Right? Then I personally think that the best way to not just earn money from YouTube, but actually earn money the fastest, freest, and easiest. Let me repeat that: the fastest, freest, even though that's not a word, and easiest way to earn money from YouTube is actually through affiliate marketing. And it's so easy to do because you probably already love and use products that fit into the theme of your channel. You're probably already using things that you can explain really well. You're probably already using things that, have an affiliate program. Let's say you're a food channel and you're using a certain blender for making your recipes, or you're a video channel and you're using a certain camera to film your videos. So in every niche, every industry, you already have products that you are using. All you really need to do is become an affiliate for those products and create a video for that and link to the product in the description. That is one of the best ways to really get started to quickly earn YouTube money without relying on AdSense and without having your country monetized or in that list of monetizing. So even if your country is monetized, I still think that affiliate marketing is actually the best way to earn money the fastest on YouTube. And dear Bo Christian is saying freest is a great word. I agree. The fastest, the freest, and the easiest, guys, is affiliate marketing, whether your country is monetized or not. Her Healthy Home is saying, I have made more money from bringing traffic to my paid products and courses than I've made on YouTube. It does help, but it's free marketing. Exactly. And I'm in the same boat. Once you get started with affiliate marketing, which is other people's products, and you can definitely go into your own products and services, which is probably the most lucrative way of earning money on YouTube. And she goes on to say another really good gem. Last month was my best month view and subscriber wise, but I made less than the months before because AdSense is very unpredictable. So there you go. AdSense is something that is dependent on advertisers deciding how much they want to pay for a certain thing, and things are trending up and down. One minute certain things are popular, another minute they're not popular anymore. So AdSense is ebb and flow, it's unreliable, it varies from month to month. But having your own products and services is more something that's in your control. Okay, I think we are almost at the end of these questions. I think I have two or three more. Julian is saying, my current challenge is deciding where to build an audience. Should I focus just on my personal brand or focus on a broader channel where I can work with other content creators to do videos about a wider range of subtopics related to my industry? Julian, great question. Something that every single person starting on YouTube, this is again tied in with the niche question that I got earlier. So, how niche is too niche? How broad should you go? Should you do collaborative work, interview other people, have like this whole, broader topic thing going on? So let's tackle this. What do you guys think? Do you think focusing on a personal brand and having your name be searchable is a great goal, or getting other people's expert opinions, bringing on other experts onto your channel, does that dilute your brand or does it help you grow your brand? It's a great question. I want to know what you guys think. Personal brand or broader brand, let's say. So pick your answer and put it down in the comments. Now, let me answer this from the perspective of somebody who believes in building a personal brand. I'll tell you why. I think that a lot of times when we look at bringing on other people, it doesn't necessarily uh, build our authority in the same way as sharing our own thoughts and ideas does. And I think that other people coming onto our brand and collaborating with us is a great strategy. But I think it should be more of an equal rather than you interviewing them. So if you're going to bring other people on board, uh, they can definitely bring another perspective. But instead of thinking about it from the perspective of, oh, I'm going to interview this expert, think about it that I'm going to have a conversation with this expert. So it's less about you firing questions at them and them answering and have all the knowledge and behave like the expert. And it's more about you having a conversation so that you get to explore your ideas around that topic as well. And you get to be perceived by your audience as having original thoughts, as having unique ideas, and having specific methods, and having frameworks, and having unique thoughts that go with that. And so you bring in their ideas, you bring in your ideas, so it's more of a balanced perspective if you're going to go the broader route. However, I think that when you're just starting out, it is a better idea to focus on developing your voice first, because the minute you start bringing in other people, it's you and you haven't yet found your voice, you're going to have a harder time finding what you stand for, what are your values, what do you believe in. And so if you start off as too broad, people won't really know what you stand for. And part of building a personal brand is really identifying both what you stand for and what you stand against. That is really what makes a personal brand, right? So really understanding that first, more so for yourself than for your audience, more so for like, how do you want people to perceive you? It just helps people to understand you better if you know your values first. It just helps people to relate to you better because they're not confused. Because if you're confused about who you are and you bring in these experts and other people to supplement your content, your audience is going to be confused about who you are, because they're hearing all these other voices, but they don't know who you are. So they're not following you then, they're following those other people that you're bringing on board. So if you're going to go broad, make it a conversation. And if you don't yet know who you are, then focus on really honing in on your unique strengths first and getting a solid personal brand going before bringing in outside collaborators. That's my perspective on it. But I can see that you have different opinions, of course, on this. So let's see. Salima saying, do both. Experts help solidify your niche, in my opinion. Yes, but with that caveat that I just said. What do you think about establishing on other platforms? Does this help growth on YouTube? Yes and no, but that's a different topic, and it'll be a long answer if I get into that. Does YouTube penalize you for posting the same video on multiple channels? No, not really. YouTube only will see duplicate content if you post the same video on your own channel or anywhere else on YouTube. But if you post the video somewhere else, it just won't bring people to your channel. So they won't penalize you, but you are cannibalizing your own views. Because why would somebody come and watch on YouTube if they can watch the same video on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter? So that's the only reason why we don't do that. And one of the big reasons why what I like to do is when I'm developing strategy for clients is YouTube is the pillar content. It's the core content because once you make that core content and it sits on YouTube, which is designed for in-depth subject matter expertise, long form, evergreen videos, that's what YouTube is designed for. It's great for. Then from there, you can publish snippets, you can publish repurposed videos to Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, yada yada, email, blog, whatever. Every other place your content can go, as long as YouTube is the place where the long form content resides. So that is always the strategy that we go with inside YouTube Intensive when I'm working with clients. Use YouTube as the hub for the core content because that is what the platform does best, and no other platform does it as well as YouTube. In fact, not even close, right? So Facebook is not known for long form content. LinkedIn definitely not. Why? Because all of these other platforms are chronological. As soon as you create it, within a few hours, days, or weeks, the content disappears. Not so on YouTube. It's searchable, it's evergreen, it can be discovered months and years later, and it gets better and better in performance. So YouTube is the only platform where creating core content, especially in video format, makes the most amount of sense. Okay, this is the last question I have, and we are coming up to the hour, so just on time. This is a question from Charlene. I have two income streams. I'm a speaker and I'm a business coach. I already have a YouTube channel, more for storing my unlisted videos used for various online courses. And I'm launching a new podcast in March and feel that YouTube is a great fit for the podcast video. So the question is, do I create a new YouTube channel just for the podcast? Or do I do what Marie Forleo does and add them to mine? Okay, so my first thought on this question is don't compare your step 1 to someone else's step 10. So Marie Forleo did not start by interviewing experts. She has, I don't know, maybe 600,000 subscribers or something right now. But every week, she used to create a video showcasing her marketing expertise. Every single week, she would focus on taking a problem, a marketing problem, and answering it in her unique way, dance and all. And that is what made her famous. The expert advice, plus the quirky personality, maybe the overall packaging, all of that. And then she created her podcast and interviewed other people and got other people on board and started all these collaborations. But if you compare what somebody is doing, I don't know, 15 years into their business with what you want to do in year 2 of your business, that's not going to work. Right? You have to start looking at other people, how they started at that level where you are right now. So Charlene, if you're thinking about following Marie Forleo, instead of looking at what she's doing today, look at what she did when she was in her first year of YouTube. Go look at her channel, sort the videos by oldest video, and look at the videos that she created in her first year of starting the YouTube channel. That's what you want to do at this point. Okay, so every time, don't make the mistake, guys, of looking at your mentors where they are right now and trying to compete with where they are right now. If they're 10 steps ahead of you and you're trying to compete with that 10th step, that's just going to wear you down. It's going to be overwhelming. It's going to frustrate you. So compete with their step 1 or wherever you are at this point. Now, I want to answer the second part of this question, which is I've been using YouTube for storing my unlisted videos for various online courses. So right now, YouTube is a dumping ground for you. Basically, you're just putting all your, stuff that you are not willing to make public yet, or therefore like other courses and stuff, and it's just a dumping ground right now. So I would say that keep those videos unlisted, and instead of launching a new podcast, create a new YouTube channel where you are the expert, because the podcast format works on YouTube really if people already are coming from somewhere else. So if you already have a great email list and then you're driving traffic to YouTube to people to listen to your podcast, then that might work. Or if you're already really big on some other social media network and you're driving traffic to YouTube for your podcast. But if you're just starting a podcast on YouTube, they are not known to perform really well. So you want to start off with creating expert videos instead of just putting your podcast on YouTube. That's my take on it. I would love to know what you guys think, and what would your advice be for Charlene? So I want to put some comments up. Brittany is saying, I started my channel to inspire others through my journey in life as a busy mom. Now, that's a great reason to start a channel. And I think one of our core needs when we start a YouTube channel is because we want to share our experiences. That's really why I started my channel. I was like, I have this great big need to want to share what I know, and I want to share all the stuff that I want to share with people. So that's a great reason to start. Queen Mama is saying, "Hi everyone, keep pushing on YouTube. Yes, don't quit, but also keep getting better with each successive video. Don't quit, but also improve." Faith is saying, "Hi, thank you. This is so informative." And your question is, what do you think about doing YouTube Shorts as well as your main YouTube channel? So that's a really great question. And I want to maybe have a whole separate live stream on doing all sorts of like short form content, whether that's Reels or TikTok or YouTube Shorts, because that is definitely something I want to explore deeper. And I might bring on an expert for that as well. So stay tuned. Katrine is saying, thank you, well spoken. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so before I end this live stream, I want to ask you guys that if you have a question that you want answered today, I'll be on for another couple of minutes, but you want to put your question in this format. My current challenge is dash, should I option A or should I go for option B? So if you want to ask something, you can definitely go ahead and ask your question here. Okay, I want to point you guys to a couple of other resources at this point. So one of the things that you can definitely do, if you haven't done it already, go and download my video content planner. It's going to really, really help you with scripting, and not just with scripting, but it also has some prompts inside about how to start your video and how to end your video, how to ask for engagement and all of that stuff. The link is down below. It's salmajafri.com/VCP, and you'll find it in the description below as well. So that's resource number one. Definitely go and download that. Okay, the second resource that I have for you guys is this free workshop that I created. This is specifically for those people who are either don't have a great foundation that they've built their channel on. So maybe you're not too clear about the audience that you are trying to attract, or maybe you're starting to launch your channel now, or maybe a new channel that you're starting to launch. So definitely go and watch this workshop. Again, the link is in the description for this free training. It's about, I think, an hour, 15 minutes, or an hour, 10 minutes long. Promise you it is worth it. It is full of information, actual steps, tactics, methods, processes, no fluff. It is worth your time. Okay, let's see. I really like your advice, Katrine. My advice is still to focus on making videos instead of podcasts. You can also strip the sound and put it separately on a podcast later. I definitely, definitely agree with that advice. Yes. Okay. What is a good subscriber number to aim for in the first year? That's kind of hard to answer, but there is a study that I always quote by TubeBuddy, which kind of gives averages. And it says if you upload 100 videos, then the average number of subscribers that you would probably get is anywhere between 1,000 and 10,000. I know that's broad, but after studying like 4 million channels, they found these averages. And I found it was really true for my channel as well. When I created my first 100 videos, that's when I got my first 10,000 subscribers. And so it depends, but that's a good benchmark to aim for. So tie in your subscribers with how many videos, and then make sure those videos are quality videos. Alrighty, faith business mindset. Thank you so much. Excited. Okay. Architectural sheet. Thanks so much. I'm struggling with direction. Should I reach out to you for strategy, or should I keep going unguided? So you can definitely reach out to me, and there are a few different ways that I can work with you. We can do a channel audit. We can, sign you up for a group coaching. It really depends on how much time you want to invest, and how and when these different programs start. So I would recommend the first thing you can do is actually apply. So when you apply, you go to salmajafri.com/apply. Let me type that out for you guys. It's also in the description, so you can also go and see it from there. But definitely go and apply. And what that will do is you'll fill out a form which will give me enough information about where you are in your journey right now to guide you on what the next steps could be. So that is something you can go and do right away. It's a simple form, 10 questions or so, and you can definitely go and fill that out. Julian is saying, any new approaches that you would recommend for 2022? So, first of all the stuff we talked about today really boils down to knowing your viewer, right? And so, the biggest approach, Julian, and the thing that I find that people are not that, maybe it's not that they're not good at, but I think they don't understand that this is so important. Like, if there's anything important on YouTube, it's this is the most important thing, to be able to understand who you're creating videos for. And if it's hard in the beginning and you're like, well, I don't know what my ideal avatar is yet, or I haven't figured it out all out, and what do I do in that scenario? Most of the time, it's you a few steps behind or a few years ago. Like, you're really, really trying to share what you know now for the person who was where you were back then. So if you don't know who that ideal person is, it's probably you. And think about where you were when you started your journey. What did you want to know? What were the things that were not available that you can now talk about because you have the experience? So, really think about it from the perspective of who are you trying to reach? Maybe it's an older version of you that you are actually trying to reach. That's a really, really great way of getting started with the whole customer avatar thing. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. I truly, truly enjoyed having you here. I hope to do more frequent live streams on this channel. Let me know if that's something that you would like me to do. Let me know in the comments more live streams. And I'm definitely listening. And so I will see you again really, really soon.